It's definitely about something bigger than myself. You kind of get into this zone after a certain amount of time in the water where you're focusing on your breathing so much, and your technique, and the way your hand hits the water, and the follow through, and all the rest of it, and your buoyancy, and it becomes kind of a mechanic process of this technique. I believe anyone can achieve anything, as long as they've got the right mindset. In 2013, the main goal, it's kind of like the presiding thing I'm training for, is the Channel Swim. It's very cold, it's very long, it's very hard. It's 21 miles in a straight line. It's just you in the water. There's nothing else. So there's nothing else for you to think about. Your brain switches off. Obviously it's an endurance event, it's not about speed, it's just about putting the hours in and going. I will go and do half an hour to an hour of weight training before, so my muscles are all very tired by the time I get in the pool. So by the time I get in the pool, I'm already kind of really aching and hurting. I do enjoy training to an extent, just because it's kind of a release, and I find swimming quite a relaxing, methodical, almost mechanical process that I can kind of let go and, well, swim, glide. It feels like I'm flying. It's not for yourself, it's for charity, you know. It's a lot of daunting pressure, but obviously you have to feel that pressure internally, and a little bit of pressure is good, but too much and you'll crack. I'm fundraising for this charity called Momentum. They were a great helping hand when I was ill. If I fail, I will have let myself down, but I'll have let other people down. I'll have let my family down. They're very supportive, my father especially. He was kind of, he kind of said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Excellent. Dad is very, very proud. I'd like to think so." He's going to be on the support boat the entire way, cheering me on, as it were. So that'll be a big driving force for me. One of the things that my father said to me was, "Your mother would be very proud." That was a really, really powerful sort of thing for him to have said, because it really made me think, yeah, she probably would be. If I'm sitting down at drawing, the whole world sort of becomes irrelevant, and the only thing that matters is the focus on this piece of paper and the marks I'm making, and the tone and the colour and the contrast and the composition and all of these different things that kind of all play subconsciously into the image that I'm making. I really enjoy drawing superheroes, yes. Because they are kind of like the Greek myth of today. I always love Greek myth. Drawing has always kind of been a release for me, and a way to kind of escape from it all, as is kind of reflected in the subject matter of my drawings. It's all kind of very sci-fi fantasy. A lot of my work comes from my imagination. I draw from memory quite a lot, and a lot of that skill of whipping something completely and utterly from memory was developed in the time that I was ill. I kind of seized the opportunity to really kind of develop my skills at drawing, and I got quite a bit better at drawing in that sort of year. there's quite a jump in the quality of my work, just because I've spent so much time doing it. I was, I don't know, flying or falling or digging or swimming or wherever. I should be wherever I wanted to be. You know, you make your own world when you draw. I was 6 when she passed away. I can't remember her personality as much as I would like to. I kind of rely on my own memories, a lot of which are obviously vague and distorted through time. From what I've heard, yeah, a lot of me is from her. I found out a couple of years ago she was also a very keen swimmer, so I think that's where I get it from. And she was also quite good at drawing. I think I've got some of her sketchbooks back at home. I remember sitting down in bed with her and saying, "Oh, draw me this, draw me Batman, making her draw Batman. Now draw a spider, giant spider eating Batman," that kind of stuff. And she'd draw them for me. She had been a huge part of my early upbringing. She loved to volunteer. Even when she was very ill, she was still, for example, coming into school and giving cooking lessons to kids. Yeah, I definitely think my mother, having passed away from cancer as well, kind of had an overwhelming cloud, put an overwhelming cloud on everything. It was kind of almost the elephant in the room. No one really wanted to talk about it that much. Yeah, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to say it was hard, because it definitely was. I found that it was almost harder for my family to cope with it than it was for me. They did an X-ray on my chest and saw the tumours in my chest, and I was kind of diagnosed shortly after that, after a biopsy on the tumour in my neck. I did understand my situation to an extent. I was 13. I wasn't stupid. I knew that there was something seriously wrong. I kept reminding myself, in the long run, this will be good, this will be better. So I kind of dealt with it that way, by assuring myself that in the long run, you're going to get better one day, so just put up with it now. Every day was just about having the right mental attitude. So being optimistic about everything was a definite plus. My experience with cancer, I suppose it does affect my kind of drive to push myself, just because I know that I know that I've done that. So there must be other things that are also very hard for someone to overcome. It's kind of like I'm almost trying to best myself, in a way. This is my goal. This is what I've set my mind to.